Hey guys, it's Attackingblind here coming at you with a Dead by Daylight video. I am going to touch on my opinion about the developer update that they just released today. I do want to do more of these, so if you guys do enjoy these, please let me know, 'cause I do want to give my feedback and kind of just touch on what I think about the current update for 7.7.0. So with that being said, I see that they've touched on the major updates with the twins and with a minor update with the blight. They did an update on the map, ultimate weapon, adrenaline, and decisive strike, and there's a couple of new features, so store improvements, archives improvements, and removed DPIPs. So in regards to that, they've also said spring has sprung, so that's a new developer update, you know how it is. And they are doing the public test build, also known as the PTB on Steam, which I might decide to give a try on, but I haven't really participated in the last couple, so if I do, I will definitely keep that posted on my Discord, which I'll drop my Linktree link down below in the description, as well as maybe a few streams that are going to be coming up. So the first major update obviously is the twins. So what they did was they changed three things, which I will touch on here. Reduced the time it takes to switch back to Charlotte to 1.5 seconds, which was 3 seconds. I do actually like that. I found that it was too quick, even as a survivor main, and I did play as the twins at one point, even if it was just achievement hunting. That is really good in my opinion. They reduced the time it takes to unbind Victor to 0.5 seconds, which was 1 second. I agree with that change. That needed to be a thing. I found that also was a little too quick, but not by much. Reduced the time it takes to charge Victor's pounds to 0.85 seconds, which was 1 second. I like that as well. And when I say quick, I mean, yeah, there's a little too long, so that's actually pretty good in my honest opinion. I do like that. Some of the new stuff that they've added in the ability to recall Victor at any point while he is unbound. That's a great addition. You could be, chasing against a survivor or have a good radius, and you wanna recall him, and at first you weren't able to, but now you are. Also added the ability to change between Victor and Charlotte and your hooked survivor. That is a great change as well. Also, the dev note here that they posted is we have made switching between Charlotte and Victor more responsive and given the killer the ability to recall Victor at any time so they feel better to play. And also be warned, the anti-phase camp meter will still fill if you're too close. Well, that makes sense, because if you are switching between Charlotte and Victor and you're a survivor and you are too close, well, obviously the bar's going to fill up. Also, some of the updated 7 add-ons. They changed Victor's pounce no longer lashes onto healthy survivors. I like that, but I don't. So what I mean between those two is I like the fact that if you're latching onto a injured survivor, that makes more sense, because it just wouldn't make sense for the healthier. But also I understand why you should be able to latch on. But let's continue. Victor can no longer be kicked after successful pounces which do not latch onto a survivor. I do not like that change. I feel like you should be able to do the kicking. That's just because I'm used to that, and I feel like it needs to be still a thing. However, I know there's a PTB happening. Victor's pounce now latches onto survivors when they are put into the dying state. Other survivors can cross Victor during it to help the dying survivor. Victor will automatically return to Charlotte after 20 seconds. Okay, so I kind of see what they're doing. So they kind of took like a pro and turned into a con, but they also replaced that pro with another pro. So I guess it kind of counteracts in a way. So they also added, while Victor is attached to a survivor holding a survivor in a locker, Charlotte gains a 10% haste effect. This effect will be lost prematurely if Charlotte hits a survivor. That's a great addition. I love that. That is something that was desperately needed. They removed survivors near Victor while he is lashed onto another survivor are no longer revealed by killer instinct. That is a great change. They also put into previously the twins' power heavily encouraged slugging, leaving survivors in a dying state. Since Victor could chain together pounces on multiple injured survivors, but only pounce a healthy one. Furthermore, survivors could often save each other before Charlotte can make it to them. That's facts. Also, we have flipped this around. Victor will now be much more effective at injuring multiple survivors, and instead it's to Charlotte, who now moves faster while Victor is lashed on, and picking up the survivor that makes it possible for Victor to injure and down a survivor without being forced to switch back to Charlotte in between. Okay, I like that. That's obviously reasonable. The visual terror radius accessibility setting will now include Victor's grunts. Okay, that's awesome. That should have been added like when they first got released, but hey, better late than never. Victor will now glow red whenever he is vulnerable to being crushed. Nice, I like that. Dev note. Here, we have updated the visual terror radius to include Victor's grunts to improve accessibility and added a red glow to whenever Victor is vulnerable to being crushed to improve visual feedback. Awesome, I like that little dev note. That's perfect. So with that update, honestly, if I were to give that a solid rating, that's like a 8 out of 10. Like obviously with my points, but you know, hey, I'm going to give that a shot when I can actually see it. So if I do the PTB, we will see how I honestly feel about that. And I don't know if I have the twins on PC, but hey, you guys know me. I'm primarily an Xbox player. So the Blade, the minor update, they changed improved collision detection to reduce cases where the blade slides off objects. Okay, let's see what the dev note says. It could be frustrating to slide off an object you were trying to bump into and end your rush prematurely. We have improved the collision detection to make the blade's rush more consistent. This also fixes an issue which allowed the blade to incorrectly slide along obstacles and lunge around tighter corners than intended. That is greatly, I know it's a minor update, but that is a great minor update to put in for the Blight, and I do want to play as the Blight more, so I would love to see how this pans out. So now to the map update with Haddonfield, and so we got the changes: updated map layout, reduced the overall size. I mean, you guys should have, because I mean the overall size wasn't the issue, but like to reduce, and like if anything, you guys could have made it bigger. reduced the length of hedges and fences to create more openings. I mean, that I guess didn't really need to be needed. Let's see what the dev note says. The map's long and narrow shape and rows of unbroken fences and or hedges make getting around very time consuming. We have reduced the overall size and added more openings to make it easier to traverse. I mean, I feel like they could have made it a little bit bigger, but at the same time, it's like I get it, I suppose. Um, what else could you add there? Like maybe like more like instead of like you know kind of like based on one street like I could like add like like another road or two and kind of add like more of a Haddonfield feel to it. But again, it's not a Halloween game; it's just Dead by Daylight. So they also said here for the change, adjusted various houses to reduce the strength of strong loops, reduce the number of houses in the map. All remaining houses can be entered. Okay, I like that. Many houses were closed off, making the map larger without any room for gameplay. We have reduced the number of houses that spawn, though each one that remains will now be open and playable. We've also reduced the strength of some of the strongest window loops to be fair and more interesting to play. I mean, there wasn't really much of a problem with those, however, but I mean, hey, this is all just until the P2B happens. So with the new, they added pallets and lockers along the edge of the map. I don't understand why. I don't think it was needed. Updated street tiles to feature more pallet loops and adjust pallet loops and park tiles. Okay. The outdoor areas were fairly empty, encouraging survivors to make the run for the nearest house when they were chased. Since we've reduced the strength of houses, we've added some additional loops to the street and edges of the map to spread out traces and reduce dead zones. I like that. I like what they did there. I just felt like, again, it could have been a little bit more bigger, as I am a huge fan of big maps, and it still pains me to this day that they got rid of the old RPD, and I really wish that they would bring that back. So another minor update. So Decisive Strike. They increased the stun duration to 5 seconds, which was 3 seconds. They added a new stabbing animation when Decisive Strike is used successfully. The survivor is locked in place for part of the stun while they are being dropped by the killer, so it didn't leave them with much time to run away once they hit the ground. We have increased the duration of the stun to give the survivor a fair chance to create some distance. While we are at it, we've added a new animation which plays when a survivor successfully uses Decisive Strike to break free to get some visual flair to the perk. I like that. I felt like Decisive Strike got like absolutely buried, and when I mean buried, I mean like buried, like not useful or anything like that. So I would like to see what they did with the 5 second for the 5 second duration. However, I wouldn't be opposed if they like increased it to, instead of like at 5, keeping it at 5, if they increased it to like maybe like 7 or 8, maybe even up to 10, just to kind of give like an opportunity for the survivor to like get away. Adrenaline. I'm not much of an adrenaline user, but I know some my fellow DVD players that are. So adrenaline no longer activates if you are hooked when the gates are powered. I feel like that's a great change, especially with the fact that with the endgame collapse, you shouldn't be able to get that extra boost just to like kind of like get away and escape. Reduce speed boost duration to 3 seconds, which was 5 seconds. I like that. That's a great change. Adrenaline no longer causes you to wake up when facing the nightmare. That change I don't like. I feel like you would think with adrenaline, it's like, okay, shit, I woke up. Okay, time to do my thing. So that needs to be like, okay, that needs to like kind of be reverted back to what it used to be, or used to be able to do with against Freddy. Um, Ad- Dev note, Adrenaline had a lot of exceptions which made it difficult to play around. If a survivor was hooked while the exit gates were powered, they would be healthy and receive a substantial speed boost upon being unhooked, making it very difficult for the killer to catch them before they could escape. We made it so adrenaline no longer pauses when you are on the hook. I like that. Also, we removed the wake up effect when facing the nightmare to clean up the perk as we moved away from perks that affect specific killer powers over the years. That part, again, I feel like if you're going against Freddy Krueger and you have adrenaline, it should wake you up. Like that's just my honest opinion. Because realistically, if you have adrenaline, and you're like I guess if you want to put like a real life perspective on it, like oh crap, I have this adrenaline rush, I'm waking up. I was like okay, yeah, like uh, ultimate weapon. Oh god, I was waiting for this change too. I honestly got tired of Ultimate Weapon as a survivor. So now reveal survivors' auras instead of causing them to scream. I feel like I'm not gonna like this change, but hey, as a killer, when I do play killer, I might like it. But hey, as a survivor, I'm already like not liking this. Um, so reduce activation time to 15 seconds, which was 30. Uh, if you give me like 20 seconds, I was like, okay, cool for the activation. I feel like that's a little too quick. Increase cooldown to 80, 70, 60 seconds, which will increase cooldown, which was 40, 35, and 30. Ultimate weapon was a jack of all trades, providing both information in a consistent way to interrupt survivor's action, allowing it to synergize too well with other perks. Rather than screaming, survivors will instead have the aura revealed. This means it will no longer interrupt survivors' interaction, though survivors won't know that they're being revealed to the killer. Okay, so I kind of understand why they did that, but however, I still don't like it. But it is better than the screaming. Since Ultimate Weapon is easy to activate, it was possible to keep its effect active throughout the entire match. We've increased the cooldown and decreased its activation window to ensure some downtime between uses. Okay, that makes sense. But again, part of me just still doesn't really like that. But hey, um, emblems, minor updates. So they removed the ability to lose a pep. Thank you. This was needed. I'm going like probably since like maybe like the first or second update of Dead by Daylight. But hey, again, better late than never. So the dev note, which says with emblems being used solely for monthly rewards these days, it felt needlessly punishing to lose a pet after a rough match. This quality of life change will make the emblem system less stressful. This also applies to modifiers. You can enjoy these limited time modes but without worrying about your grade. That is a great update. I like that. It should have been in the game like easily since the beginning. Cause like you shouldn't have to lose a pip after a rough game. Like you could you could be tunneled out, you could be like camped out, you could be slugged out, or whatever. And it's like this was a rough match. Like what? Like why? So I like what they did there. That's a great update. The store update. So the major update. Um, they did a visual overhaul to the entire store menu. So as I scroll down a little bit, I really like that. That is awesome. Um, so they added a specials tab to highlight items that are on sale. Added collections tab to find cosmetics from a specific collection. They also added bundles containing multiple items at a discounted price. Killer Mori animations can now be viewed in the store. Ooh, that's awesome. And they also added a weekly gift that can be claimed for free. Behavior, honestly, I'm just gonna give you a clap. I think that's great. You guys touched what needed to be touched on for the store. Um, the store, and they also said too, the store hasn't changed much since it was introduced in 2018. This update makes it easier to find what you're looking for and allows us to bundle content together at a reduced price. For example, it's now possible to purchase an entire DLC pack through the in-game store rather than purchasing each character separately. Thank you. And this is what they did for the storefront. Honestly, great. I like the outlook. I love what they're doing to keep things more organized. I'm all for it. And they did really well with the visuals too. So with the archives, minor update. So change is the new tomes and their respective rifts will now open at the same time as the update. New rift bundle option which grants the premium rift rewards and a 20-tier head start at a discounted price. Ooh. So dev note which touches on the rifts have historically opened the day after a mid-chapter updates, but no more. You can now get cracking on those challenges right away. We have also introduced a new rift bundle which includes the premium rift pass and 20 tiers at a discounted price. The premium rift pass can still be purchased separately if you prefer. So that I honestly do love. I do look forward to seeing how the premium rift pass and whatnot goes and see what the prices are for that, especially when it's at a discounted price. So overall, I love what they did. I love the fact that they touched on other issues and what needed to be a thing. So that's my opinion. I want to hear your guys' feedback. And this is going to be maybe like the first of many. If you guys enjoy this, I look forward to doing more. As I said, I am looking forward to this update. I'm looking forward to seeing how the PTB goes, whether I play it or whether I don't. That's a mystery to be had at the moment because I have to see how my schedule is looking like for the month of April. And yeah, I just can't wait to actually see what they have in store for the next update after this. And yeah, so again, if you're new to my channel, leave a like, subscribe, have a notification bell turned on, and tell me what your honest opinions are about this update that's coming out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.